So the brand new 4K Firestick and the second generation 4K Firestick Max are both around the corner, but should you go ahead and upgrade them? Well, as you can see on the left, I've got my current 4K Firestick Max. This does support Wi-Fi 6, and we can see in the tdoctoruk household, I'm easily pushing just over 320 meg downstream. Now jumping over to the latest third generation Fire TV Cube, which you can see on the right, which really is the most powerful device you can buy from Amazon today. It completely destroys anything available, including the upcoming second generation Firestick Max. Now in terms of Wi-Fi on this one, which does actually support Wi-Fi 6E, we can see again in the tdoctoruk household, this one we can see is comfortably pushing over 420 meg. So maybe we could say 100 or so meg faster. So that's just the Wi-Fi, but what about the other things, like for example the storage? So how much storage am I going to have to download applications, to install third-party applications? Then of course we can look at things like your CPU performance, your GPU performance. So if you do like playing games, or maybe you want to run emulation, the GPU performance will make a difference. How much RAM your device has, so the more RAM that you have typically means that you can run more applications at the same time, but it also helps out with buffering. So we definitely want to get as much RAM as possible. Then other things like what version of Android do they come with? Do they come with any built-in ports? All of these factors can help you decide which of these devices you should go ahead and purchase next. So let's now look at a quick summary table. So here we have a fantastic summary table where we can see all of the things that we're looking for, made by Elias on aftvnews.com, which really is the best resource for all things Amazon and Firestick related. Now we can see here with the second generation 4K Firestick Max, which was announced yesterday, and here we have the new second generation 4K Firestick. So these are really the two new devices that we're going to be looking at today, and just see exactly how do they stack up versus the previous 4K Firestick. And of course, is the new 4K Firestick Max a worthy contender to the recently released third generation Fire TV Cube, which is currently my main device. Now right at the top we can see in terms of processors, this one on the third generation Fire TV Cube, it's an 8-core processor. And really I would just say again, if you're looking for the fastest Amazon device by a mile, this is really the one and only device you want to get. And in certain benchmarks, this completely destroys the Nvidia Shield Pro. Whereas with the new 4K Firestick Max versus the new 4K Firestick second gen, we can see both have a 4-core processor, whereas the CPU on this one, the new 4K Firestick Max, is a bit newer, and this also runs at 2 GHz versus the slightly slower 1.7 GHz on the 4K Firestick. Now price wise, we can see for launch day on Amazon USA, they are priced at $49 for the new 4K Firestick and $59 for the new 4K Firestick Max. And definitely I would say at this price point, this one is an absolute steal. Now GPU wise, as I mentioned before, again the third generation Fire TV Cube is way ahead of these other ones, but we can see with the second generation Firestick Max, that's rocking the same GPU as the new 4K Firestick, but again just at a slightly higher clock speed. So if you are somebody that's looking to do some gaming or some emulation, you will definitely get better performance on the new 4K Firestick Max second generation, but again the best performance, you'll have to look at the Cube. Now for Wi-Fi standards, we can see that only the new 4K Firestick Max second generation and the Cube support the 6E standard, whereas the new 4K Firestick, it is still much faster, supporting Wi-Fi 6, whereas the previous one supported Wi-Fi 5. Now storage wise, we can see if you want to get away from this nasty 8 GB of storage, the only options you have is the new 4K Firestick Max second generation, or of course the much beefier third generation Fire TV Cube. Now moving on to the OS, the operating system, we can see that the new second generation Firestick Max will be rocking Fire OS 8, and this is the first time a Fire TV device, other than obviously the tablets, is rocking Fire OS 8, and this is going to be the same on the new 4K Firestick, which is based on Android 11, whereas with Fire OS 7 it's running Android 9, and that's what we saw on the previous first generation Firestick Max, and of course what's currently running on the latest third generation Fire TV Cube. We can see we get AV1 support on both newer devices as well as the existing third generation Fire TV Cube. Now in terms of audio, we can see it's quite similar, except the newer devices all get Dolby, MAT or MAT. That's supported on the new 4K Fire Stick, as well as the second generation Fire TV Stick Max, and of course the existing third generation Fire TV Cube. Now USB, unfortunately, on all of these devices is still capped at USB 2. So if you are thinking about adding, USB storage, or maybe using an Ethernet adapter, because of this USB 2 limitation, unfortunately you will be limited to those USB 2 speed. Now remote controls, we can see here, are very similar on the new 4K Fire Stick Max second generation and the existing third generation Cube. The difference here being that this also supports that TV ambient mode. So something like what we see on the Chromecast devices, that's also now the only device where you can get this in if you exclude the actual Fire TVs. And of course you get some of the extra buttons here that you don't see on the other devices. So that's pretty much all of the comparison, guys. So really the question is, should you upgrade? Well, I would say in all cases, if you can get these devices at that launch price of $49 for the 4K and $59 for the 4K Max second generation, I will definitely get all of those devices. There will be a big upgrade from all previous generations. The only exception, of course, is if you're already rocking the third generation Fire TV Cube, then there really is no point upgrading because you already have the best device available from Amazon. So that's pretty much of this video, guys. Many thanks for watching. I will be getting all of the new devices and we'll go through the standard comparisons. Maybe we'll compare the new second generation Fire Stick Max to the third generation Cube, or leave me a comment below. Let me know what comparison you want to see. Maybe you want to see the second generation Fire Stick Max versus the Nvidia Shield. Do leave me a comment below, let me know, and I'll hopefully catch up with you guys real soon. Thanks.